High Admiral Kovacs stood on the bridge of the Zaxthor Empire's flagship, his forearms crossed behind his back as he stared at the blue planet through the main viewport. Earth looked so small, so insignificant against the vastness of space. His mandibles clicked in amusement. This would be the easiest conquest of his career. "Status report," he commanded, his voice echoing across the pristine bridge of the warship. Lieutenant Chital hurried forward, her scales shimmering under the bright lights. "My Admiral, we have positioned the fleet as ordered. All 200 warships are in attack formation. Our scans show primitive satellite technology and basic space stations. The humans appear to have achieved spaceflight only recently." Kovacs nodded, pleased. The intelligence division had reported that humans were a young species who had barely left their planet. They had only sent primitive probes to their nearby planets and hadn't even established colonies on their moon. "What's all that debris around their planet?" he asked, pointing at the countless objects floating in Earth's orbit. "It appears to be abandoned satellites and space junk." "Admiral," Chital replied, "the humans are quite wasteful. They leave their broken machines in orbit instead of cleaning them up." The Admiral shook his head. Such primitive behavior only confirmed what he already knew. Humans were not ready for galactic society. The Zaxthor Empire would do them a favor by conquering them and bringing proper civilization to their world. "Prepare the communication systems," Kovacs ordered. "It's time to announce their doom." As the crew rushed to obey his commands, none of them noticed the subtle movements among the supposed space junk. They didn't see the hidden sensors activating or the disguised weapon systems quietly powering up. They certainly didn't detect the quantum-encrypted signals bouncing between pieces of debris. Deep underground on Earth, in a hidden command center beneath the Rocky Mountains, General Sarah Chen watched multiple screens with a slight smile on her face. "They took the bait," she said to her international team of officers. "They think our orbital defense network is just abandoned satellites. The Zaxthor are exactly as arrogant as our deep space scouts reported," commented Colonel Viktor Petrov, checking his own displays. "They haven't even bothered to do detailed scans. Their sensors just skimmed the surface." "Should we show them their mistake?" asked Captain Mohammed Al-Rashid, his fingers hovering over his control panel. "Not yet," General Chen replied, still smiling. "Let's see what they have to say first. Maintain Ghost Protocol. Remember, we've spent 50 years preparing for first contact. Let's not waste all that work in the first 5 minutes." On the screens above them, the Zaxthor fleet arranged itself in an impressive battle formation. It would have been terrifying if the Earth's military didn't know better. Their own stealth ships, hidden in the dark side of the moon, were already recording everything for future training videos on what not to do during an invasion. The main screen suddenly lit up with an incoming transmission. The scaled, four-armed figure of Admiral Kovacs appeared, trying to look as imposing as possible. "People of Earth," his translated voice boomed through the speakers, "I am High Admiral Kovacs of the mighty Zaxthor Empire. Your primitive world has been chosen for the honor of joining our glorious empire. Surrender now, and we will be merciful. Resist, and we will destroy your civilization. You have 1 Earth hour to decide." The transmission ended. In the command center, there was a moment of silence before General Chen spoke. "Well," she said, checking her watch, "let's give them their hour. In the meantime, who's up for coffee? I have a feeling we're going to need it for the show that's about to begin." 1 hour had passed since the Zaxthor Empire's ultimatum. Admiral Kovacs paced on his bridge, all 4 arms twitching with irritation. The humans hadn't responded to his message. They hadn't even tried to contact him. "Prepare the demonstration strike," he ordered. "Target their largest military installation. We'll show them the price of ignoring us." Lieutenant Chital worked at her console, her scales turning a pale green with confusion. "Admiral, we're having trouble identifying their military bases. There's some kind of interference with our scans." "Just target the largest concentration of military-grade metal and energy signatures," Kovacs snapped. They can't hide everything. The targeting computer beeped confidently. Chtal pressed the firing sequence, and the flagship's main cannon hummed to life. A brilliant beam of energy shot toward Earth, lighting up the space around them. Meanwhile, in Nebraska, Billy Bob's spectacular mini-golf and ice cream paradise was having a busy day. Children ran around the colorful courses, parents enjoyed ice cream in the sun, and nobody paid attention to the giant collection of old military vehicles Billy Bob had bought at auction to create his tanktastic trail hole. The energy beam struck the mini-golf course with perfect accuracy. When the light faded, there was a smoking crater where the 12th hole used to be. The collected tanks, which Billy Bob had filled with foam to make them safe for kids, had apparently attracted the alien weapons. Back in the underground command center, General Chen nearly choked on her coffee as she watched the footage. They'd just attacked a mini-golf course, she managed between laughs. Colonel Petrov was already on the phone. Yes, Mr. President. No, sir, I'm not joking. They targeted Billy Bob's. Yes, the one with the famous triple-loop windmill. Captain Al-Rashid pulled up the social media feeds. Sir, you might want to see this. The attack is already trending. On screens across the command center, videos from teenagers' phones show the alien weapon strike. Most of them were set to funny music, with captions like "Aliens hate this one mini-golf trick," and "When you're so bad at mini-golf you call an orbital strike." Admiral Kovacs was not having a good day. "What do you mean the humans are laughing?" he demanded, staring at the communication feeds his crew had intercepted. "They appear to be making entertainment content about our attack," Chtal reported nervously. "And sir, you should know that our target wasn't exactly military." "What was it then?" "A recreational facility for small humans to hit small balls into holes." Kovacs's scales turned dark purple with embarrassment. "Launch a larger attack. Target their capital cities." But when they tried, nothing happened. Their weapons mysteriously powered down. Their targeting systems showed nothing but static. And somehow, their communications were being flooded with something called memes. In the Rocky Mountain Command Center, General Chen finally decided to send a message to the alien fleet. She chose the youngest officer in the room to write it, knowing they'd pick exactly the right tone. The message that appeared on the Zaxthor flagship's main screen read, "Dear aliens, solid attempt at the mini-golf course, but that's a par 3 hole, and you totally overshot it. Since you seem interested in Earth sports, we'd love to invite you to try bowling next. We promise the pins aren't military targets either. P.S. Thanks for the free remodeling of Billy Bob's course. He'd been wanting to add a water hazard anyway." As Kovacs read the message, his crew trying desperately not to laugh behind him, he had a sinking feeling that this invasion wasn't going to go according to plan at all. Admiral Kovacs was running out of patience. After the mini-golf disaster, nothing seemed to work right. He stood on his bridge, watching yet another weapons test fail spectacularly. "What do you mean the beam just disappeared?" he asked, his voice dangerously quiet. Lieutenant Chtal checked her readings for the 10th time. "Sir, our energy weapons enter Earth's atmosphere and just vanish. No explosion, no impact. They're just gone." What the Zaxthor fleet didn't know was that Earth's atmosphere had been secretly seeded with defensive nanites decades ago. These microscopic robots were currently converting alien weapon energy into power for the planet's grid. In fact, several small towns were enjoying free electricity thanks to the aliens' continued attempts to attack. "Fine," Kovacs shouted. "If energy weapons don't work, launch the fear projectors. Show them our most terrifying war forms." Giant holographic projectors activated across the fleet, creating massive images of the most fearsome creatures from the Zaxthor Empire. Enormous scaled beasts with multiple heads and glowing eyes appeared in the skies above Earth's major cities. In New York City's Central Park, a crowd gathered beneath one of the largest projections. Street vendors quickly set up stands selling hot dogs and "I Survived the Alien Light Show" t-shirts. A group of art students had set up easels and were painting the alien monsters. "These projections are amazing," said one teenager, taking a selfie with a horrifying seven-headed beast in the background. "The detail is incredible. Way better than last year's Halloween parade." In Tokyo, people were already making cute cartoon versions of the alien monsters. Several gaming companies had begun filing patents for new character designs based on the projections. Back on the flagship, Kovacs watched in horror as humans treated their most feared war beasts like tourist attractions. "Sir," Chital reported hesitantly, "the humans are rating our projections. They've created something called a monster design scorecard and are giving them points for creativity and aesthetic appeal." "What about our electronic warfare systems?" Kovacs demanded. "Surely we can at least disrupt their communications." The crew tried to hack Earth's systems, but every attempt ended in failure. Their most advanced virus was caught by a free antivirus program. Their best AI got stuck in an endless loop trying to prove it wasn't a robot to access a website. In the Rocky Mountain Command Center, General Chen watched the aliens' frustration with amusement. "Should we tell them their advanced cyber attacks are being blocked by spam filters?" she asked. Colonel Petrov shook his head, grinning. "Let them figure it out. Though I do feel bad for their AI. Those CAPTCHA tests can be annoying." "General," Captain Al-Rashid called out, "you might want to see this. Their systems just tried to breach our top-secret files." "The decoy folder?" Chen asked. "The one filled with cat videos and memes?" "Yes, sir. Their main computer has downloaded about 2,000 cat videos in the last hour. It seems to be studying them." On the Zaxthor flagship, the main computer had indeed become fascinated with Earth's feline population. It had started categorizing different types of chunks and was trying to understand why cats knock things off tables. Kovacs slumped in his command chair, all four hands covering his face. Nothing in his military training had prepared him for this. His fearsome weapons were useless, his psychological warfare had backfired, and his ship's computer was now playing something called Keyboard Cat on repeat through the fleet's communication system. "Lieutenant," he said wearily, "please tell me we have any weapons that still work." Chital checked her console. "Well, sir, our old-fashioned projectile cannons still function." But she paused, looking embarrassed. "The humans are using our missed shots for their baseball practice." The Zaxthor Empire's invasion of Earth was going badly, but their attempt to hack Earth's communications made things much worse. As their systems connected to the internet, chaos spread through the alien fleet. "Admiral," Lieutenant Tall called out in panic, "our junior officers are distracted." Kovacs stormed through the ship, finding crew members hunched over their screens. Instead of monitoring battle stations, they were watching something called YouTube tutorials and arguing about something called TikTok dances. In one control room, a young officer was filming himself. "Hey space fans, your boy's Tack here with another video. Today I'm showing you around a real Zaxthor battleship. Don't forget to like and subscribe." "What are you doing?" Kovacs roared. "Building my brand, sir," Stak replied. "I already have 50,000 followers. Humans love behind-the-scenes content." Meanwhile, on Earth, teenagers were having a field day. 15-year-old Emma from Minnesota had become an overnight sensation with her video, "Top 10 Ways to Dodge Alien Death Rays," with dance moves. The fact that her methods actually worked, thanks to Earth's hidden defenses, made the aliens even more frustrated. In the Rocky Mountain Command Center, General Chen watched the social media chaos with amusement. "How many alien officers have we converted into social media influencers now?" Captain Al-Rashid checked his tablet. "About 30% of their junior command staffs, sir. Most of them are trying to start gaming channels. Their attempts to show off their superior alien technology are actually giving us excellent intelligence." On the main screen, they watched as another alien officer posted a ship tour. "And this is our main reactor," the officer said proudly. "Don't forget to smash that like button and join my Discord." Colonel Petrov laughed. "Their entire command structure is falling apart because of social media addiction. Should we show them Twitter?" "No," Chen replied with a smile. "That would be too cruel." Back on the flagship, Kovacs discovered that his own son, serving on another ship, had started a cooking channel called Cooking with Kovacs Jr., Earth Edition. "Today we're trying something called a burger," his son announced to his camera. "Earth food doesn't have enough tentacles, but their ketchup sauce is amazing." The final straw came when the fleet's main battle computer started posting memes. Its first post, "When you try to invade Earth but their cats are too powerful," went viral across both human and alien social networks. Kovacs found Lieutenant Chival laughing at her station. "What's so funny?" "Sorry, sir," she wiped her eyes. "But humans have started a challenge called Imitate an Alien. They're putting bowls on their heads and walking around with their arms stuck out, saying, 'Take me to your manager.' It's hilarious." "That's not how we walk," Kovacs protested. Then he realized he was standing exactly like that and quickly changed his posture. The ship's AI announced, "Attention all crew. This invasion has been sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Make it stop." Kovacs pleaded. "I can't, sir," Chtal replied. "The AI has discovered sponsorship deals. It's trying to become a content creator." In the command center, General Chen received a message that made her laugh out loud. The alien ship AI just applied for a verified badge on Instagram. "What should we do?" asked Captain Al-Rashid. "Verify them, of course," Chen replied. "After all, they are legitimately from space, and while they're busy building their social media presence, they're not trying to invade us." As Kovacs watched his fearsome invasion force turn into a collection of aspiring influencers, he wondered if perhaps they should have studied Earth's culture more carefully before attempting to conquer it. As the caffeine slowly wore off, Admiral Kovacs and his crew watched in stunned silence as Earth's orbital junk transformed into the most advanced defense network they had ever seen. Thousands of satellites unfolded like metallic flowers, revealing weapons and shields far beyond Zaxthor technology. "How?" Kovacs whispered, all four hands gripping his command chair. "How long have you had these?" General Chen's hologram appeared on his bridge, replacing the potted plant he'd been consulting earlier. "Oh, about 200 years. We just didn't feel like bragging about it." Lieutenant Chtal, still slightly jittery from coffee, checked her scanners. "Admiral, Earth ships are rising from every ocean on the planet. They're using technology we've never seen before." Hidden bases opened on Earth's moon, revealing massive hangars filled with sleek spacecraft. From Mars, another fleet emerged from underground bunkers. Even some asteroids turned out to be disguised human battleships. "You see," General Chen explained, "we've been watching galactic civilization for centuries. We noticed everyone used the same basic technology, just with slight variations. So we decided to try something different." On the main screen, they watched as a small human ship demonstrated Earth's technology. It didn't just bend light for stealth. It folded space itself. Its weapons didn't fire energy beams, but instead temporarily rewrote the laws of physics in small areas. "That's impossible," Kovacs said weakly. "No," Chen corrected him. "It's just impossible with standard galactic technology." While everyone else was copying each other's homework, we did our own thing. Captain Al-Rashid's hologram appeared next to Chen's. "We call it thinking outside the box, way outside the box, like in a completely different box store outside the box." The Zaxthor crew watched as their most advanced sensors failed to even understand how Earth's ships worked. Their weapons operated on principles the aliens had never imagined. "But why hide?" Chtal asked, genuinely curious. "Why pretend to be primitive?" Colonel Petrov appeared next, smiling. "Have you seen galactic politics? Everyone fighting over who has the biggest space guns. We took one look at that and said, no thanks. Much more fun to sit back, develop our own technology, and watch cat videos. Speaking of which, Chen added, "Your ship's AI has become our most popular cat video streamer. 8 million subscribers now." The ship's AI proudly displayed its new channel logo, a cat wearing a space helmet. "So all this time," Kovacs realized, "when we were trying to attack you, we were mostly just entertaining ourselves," Chen finished. "Though I have to admit, the mini-golf incident was not planned. That was just a hilarious bonus." "And the coffee?" Chtal asked. "Oh, that was just coffee," Petrov laughed. "We genuinely wanted to share it, though we didn't expect it to affect you quite so dramatically. Your interpretive dance declaration of war was very artistic, by the way." Kovacs slumped in his chair. Earth could have destroyed his fleet at any moment. Instead, they had turned his invasion into a social media event and gotten his crew addicted to coffee. "What happens now?" he asked quietly. "Well," Chen said, "we have two options. One, we demonstrate exactly what our technology can do, which would be very embarrassing for your empire. Or two, we pretend this was all a planned cultural exchange program that got a little out of hand. Your empire saves face. We finally stop pretending to be primitive, and everyone gets free coffee. What do you say?" Kovacs looked at his crew, most of whom were already nodding enthusiastically at the mention of more coffee. "Cultural exchange it is," he agreed, trying to maintain some dignity. "Though I do have one more question." "Yes. What exactly are these energy drinks your diplomat mentioned?" As the caffeine slowly wore off, Admiral Kovacs and his crew watched in stunned silence as Earth's orbital junk transformed into the most advanced defense network they had ever seen. Thousands of satellites unfolded like metallic flowers, revealing weapons and shields far beyond Zaxthor technology. "How?" Kovacs whispered, all four hands gripping his command chair. "How long have you had these?" General Chen's hologram appeared on his bridge, replacing the potted plant he'd been consulting earlier. "Oh, about 200 years. We just didn't feel like bragging about it." Lieutenant Chtal, still slightly jittery from coffee, checked her scanners. "Admiral, Earth ships are rising from every ocean on the planet. They're using technology we've never seen before. Hidden bases opened on Earth's moon, revealing massive hangars filled with sleek spacecraft. From Mars, another fleet emerged from underground bunkers. Even some asteroids turned out to be disguised human battleships. You see," General Chen explained, "we've been watching galactic civilization for centuries. We noticed everyone used the same basic technology, just with slight variations. So we decided to try something different." On the main screen, they watched as a small human ship demonstrated Earth's technology. It didn't just bend light for stealth. It folded space itself. Its weapons didn't fire energy beams, but instead temporarily rewrote the laws of physics in small areas. "That's impossible," Kovacs said weakly. "No," Chen corrected him. "It's just impossible with standard galactic technology. While everyone else was copying each other's homework, we did our own thing." Captain Al-Rashid's hologram appeared next to Chen's. "We call it thinking outside the box. Way outside the box. Like in a completely different box store outside the box." The Zaxthor crew watched as their most advanced sensors failed to even understand how Earth's ships worked. Their weapons operated on principles the aliens had never imagined. "But why hide?" Chtal asked, genuinely curious. "Why pretend to be primitive?" Colonel Petrov appeared next, smiling. "Have you seen galactic politics? Everyone fighting over who has the biggest space guns. We took one look at that and said, no thanks. Much more fun to sit back, develop our own technology, and watch cat videos." Speaking of which, Chen added, "Your ship's AI has become our most popular cat video streamer. 8 million subscribers now." The ship's AI proudly displayed its new channel logo, a cat wearing a space helmet. "So all this time," Kovacs realized, "when we were trying to attack you, We were mostly just entertaining ourselves, Chen finished. Though I have to admit, the mini-golf incident was not planned. That was just a hilarious bonus. And the coffee? Chtal asked. Oh, that was just coffee, Petrov laughed. We genuinely wanted to share it, though we didn't expect it to affect you quite so dramatically. Your interpretive dance declaration of war was very artistic, by the way. Kavak slumped in his chair. Earth could have destroyed his fleet at any moment. Instead, they had turned his invasion into a social media event and gotten his crew addicted to coffee. What happens now? He asked quietly. Well, Chen said, we have two options. One, we demonstrate exactly what our technology can do, which would be very embarrassing for your empire. Or two, we pretend this was all a planned cultural exchange program that got a little out of hand. Your empire saves face. We finally stop pretending to be primitive, and everyone gets free coffee. What do you say? Kavax looked at his crew, most of whom were already nodding enthusiastically at the mention of more coffee. Cultural exchange it is, he agreed, trying to maintain some dignity. Though I do have one more question. Yes. What exactly are these energy drinks your diplomat mentioned? 1 month after the failed invasion, Admiral Kavax stood before the Zaxthor Emperor, trying to explain what had happened on Earth. The throne room was packed with officials, all eager to hear about the strange human planet. Your Majesty, Kavax began, I'm pleased to report that our cultural exchange program with Earth was mostly successful. The Emperor's 6 eyes blinked in confusion. Cultural exchange. You were sent to conquer them. Ah, yes, about that. Kavax shuffled nervously. There was a slight translation error. When we said conquer, they heard come over for coffee and social media training. Lieutenant Chtal, now Earth's biggest fan, stepped forward with a tray. Speaking of coffee, Your Majesty, would you like to try an Earth specialty called a caramel frappuccino? The Emperor took one sip and his scales changed to a delighted pink color. This is remarkable. And you say the humans have more drinks like this? Oh yes, Chtal said enthusiastically. They have something called energy drinks that made our entire battle fleet redecorate their ships with neon colors and racing stripes. On cue, the Emperor's advisors presented the latest reports. Earth had emerged as a technological superpower that had been hiding in plain sight for centuries. Their ships could do things that Zaxthor scientists had thought impossible. And somehow, they had managed to turn a potential war into the galaxy's most popular reality show. Their entertainment network is calling it How to Fail at Invading Earth, an advisor explained. Your fleet's attempts to conquer them have become the highest-rated comedy series in galactic history. The Emperor watched a clip of Kavax trying to declare war through interpretive dance while high on espresso. And the humans could have destroyed our fleet at any time. Yes, Your Majesty, Kavax admitted. Instead, they taught our ship's ad to make memes. It now has a successful merchandising line. Right then, the throne room's screens lit up with Earth's formal request to join the Galactic Council. The application was accompanied by a note. We thought it was time to stop pretending to be primitive. Also, we're opening a coffee shop chain across the galaxy. The Emperor, finishing his 3rd frappuccino, made a quick decision. Send a message to Earth. Tell them we accept their friendship and ask them if they'll teach us how they develop their technology. They already replied to that question, Your Majesty, Chtal said. They said, and I quote, stop copying everyone else's homework and try something new. Meanwhile on Earth, General Chen was meeting with the world's leaders. The screens showed Zaxthor ships being repainted in friendly colors, their crews now official coffee ambassadors to Earth. So, the President asked, how long before they realize we invented half our advanced technology last week just to impress them? Probably never, Chen laughed. They're too busy trying to figure out how we fold space, which is really just clever hologram work and some sparkly paint. Colonel Petrov checked his tablet. The Zaxthor Empire has already ordered enough coffee beans to keep Brazil busy for a decade, and their ship's AI is launching a clothing line called Space Cat Chick. Mission accomplished then, Chen said. We've turned an invasion into a trade deal, made some new friends, and introduced an alien empire to caffeine. Not bad for a month's work. As the meeting ended, they received one last message from Admiral Kvax. Dear Earth friends, the Emperor wishes to know if you have more of those cat videos. Also, what is this TikTok, and why can't he stop watching it? Earth had not only survived an alien invasion, they had turned their invaders into customers, social media influencers, and coffee addicts. And somewhere in space, a Zaxthor ship's AI was teaching alien kittens to play piano for its next viral video.